welcome to Metal Titans, Guardians of Metal Entertainment Worldwide. I'm here with Derek and Matt of Decrepit Birth. Thank you for doing this interview with us today.
Cool. Awesome.
So you guys are about halfway through the tour. How's it going so far for you guys?
It's going really good. I'd say the first week or so was a little bit more slow, but still fun. But as soon as we started getting more towards the West Coast, the shows started really picking up. And yeah, it's been really fun. I don't know.
It's been great. I mean, you know, like coming out of the gate, you know, and you're always trying to get the machine oiled. You know, you want to get the thing moving and smooth, and just within a few days, everybody, right out of the gate, everybody was great. But you know, we start acting as a team, and the people start catching the rumors on the internet of what's going on, and the people have just been coming out, and it's been great. We're having a great time.
Well, I'm glad you guys are having a great time. Now, as you were growing up, who inspired you guys to start what you're doing today, basically?
Well, I'll jump in. Just it's funny because he plays in another band, obviously Suffocation, and that to me is one of the biggest influences on this band, Decrepit Birth, which, you know, I started. He was on the first album as well, and we always kind of had a vision in mind, and Suffocation was always one of the top bands. And so when he got the call, you know, to go off to Suffocation, it was like I said, "Hey man, do what you got to do."
And
so
it was great,
and it was perfect.
Because well, these guys they were going full steam ahead, and I was a big supporter of the band. And you know, when they said their bass player was leaving, I was like, "Can I come back?" Of course. And they were like, "Yeah." Wow. So an honor to rejoin the ranks of these gods. These guys are killing it. So it's great for me to be able to try to contribute, and you know, whether it's writing or performing or just being good friends with these guys. You know, they're great people. So
well, I remember seeing you guys at Summer Slaughter Tour. You guys did a really good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Really good. As for inspiration, I would pull my father as a classical musician, and inspiring me to want to strive, you know, to have these abilities and goals. And you know, any goal you set for yourself, if you really want it, you can have it, whether it's performing or writing or anything when it comes to that. And so we chose music, and it's just a great outlet for us, and you know, we get to meet tons of people and express our emotions and feelings, and then relate to the people. It's great.
And I just want to throw in there too, like, because this was a question about influences, and I mean, all the obvious influences are like, you know, Death and, you know, Cynic, Morbid Angel, all the old stuff, you know.
Original death metal.
And not to say that I don't like a lot of the new stuff that's coming out nowadays. I really like bands like The Faceless and stuff like that. It's really good stuff. But my heart, when it comes to this stuff, you know, is the older, you know, more classic 90s death metal.
Kind of like maybe where we came from.
Right.
You know?
But at the same time, I'm not going to say that I'm not into completely other types of music, you know.
Try it all.
Yeah, like we're not always listening to metal on this bus, you know. There's all types of different stuff. I mean, I like a lot of
Lisa and shit.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it is,
some fun
crazy,
stuff.
weird, obscure stuff that we all like. But I think in the end that plays a lot, and it shows like our individual like styles that we each put in, because we all like other things other than metal, and I think it all kind of filters in, and
we collaborate. Yeah, it makes
cool.
for this.
We're musicians. We're musicians, so you know, it's about the music first, not just about, you know, just one thing. It's about so many things. So just influences from all different types of music, not just music. You know, he reads a lot of books. Our singer Bill, and
life is my inspiration.
Life. Great inspiration.
So, you know, just anything like that, anything that's deep and spiritual and meaningful is an influence for us.
Just like everyday life, like kicking a can.
There you go.
There you go.
Enjoy your life, and enjoy this time that we have on this planet. So that's all.
It's a short life.
Yeah, it's a short life.
Now, when you guys are on tour, are there certain bands or music that you like to listen to more than, say, others? Like, you guys play a lot of metal. Yeah. So is there other bands that aren't metal that you
I'm really into stuff like Depeche Mode and The Cure, and I like stuff like I like a lot of like jazz stuff too, like Al Di Meola and stuff like that. I don't know. These guys, I've been hearing you guys listen to like fucking
interesting stuff. You know, we'll put on like Let's Dance by David Bowie or something. You know, something that's just bumping and everybody's having a good time. You know, we want to, you know, the Polish guys or the Italian guys, we all take turns with the iPod and play our music over the PA in the bus, and it's just super fun. You know, anything that will inspire you in a different way. Because if you're listening to all day, you're gonna okay, well, is there more out there than that? And of course. But
there's a time and a place for that.
Yeah,
and not to say that it doesn't come up a lot.
We definitely listen to a lot of aggressive stuff, but you know,
sometimes you gotta offset it a little bit.
It's not fun.
Now on tour so far, have you had a favorite city that stands out compared to some, or do they all stand out in their own way?
They all stand out.
Yeah.
Vancouver? No.
We haven't played yet, but Vancouver.
You don't have to say Vancouver.
Well,
there's no.
No, I do like to hear that.
The same thing would apply, like major market cities opposed to a secondary market, and like you definitely need to go play for your secondary market fans. It's not their fault; they live in some weird town. But you know, you got to go to their place too. But for me, like the major market stuff has been really fun. You know, the Hollywood show, San Francisco show is amazing. You know,
that's kind of like our hometown a little bit. So there's just always a good crowd in San Francisco. Just every time we play SF, it gets better and better.
Definitely. Like I don't want to look around at these guys on stage and be like boring. You know, because when you're up there, you feed off the energy of the people, and if the people are like, yeah, great,
then we can't give it back out.
It's hard to give it to them when they're not giving it to us, and we're feeding each other.
We like to see the kids fucking
go nuts.
I mean, get up on stage, whatever it takes, you know, and we will give it back to you guys in our playing if we see the crowd getting fucking into it.
It's like that thing, like a vacuum. You know, when you start it, if it has that, it's like a siphon. When you start the flow of energy, if they get pulled in, then we're in turn able to give more. But if we come out of the gate with everything we have, and if they're like in the front row, like this,
texting wow.
talking to them,
totally.
You know, and you're just like, oh, really? And then the rest of the time, you know, Bill will just stage dive on them.
Yeah,
he'll just fucking dive right in. He'll just dive in them. What? We're doing our jobs. You do your job. I love that. That's fucking. That's great.
But you know, for the most part, we appreciate everybody that comes up to our show, comes out to our shows. I mean, even if they're just there, they never heard us, and they're just there, just checking us out. Just
that's fun,
you know,
too.
That's cool. You know, but we really love to see people getting into it, and we will give you, the fans, much more of our performance if you guys fucking
give a little back.
Give it to us.
Great.
So
it's great.
To receive, you gotta give.
There you go.
That's true.
Now, aside from playing, is there a favorite city that you like just to walk around? Like, obviously today it's kind of brunchy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But like, are there cities that you just find nice?
If I could take it, I hate this because you're like, hey, there goes the Parthenon. Oh, Stonehenge. There it went. Sometimes you don't even get to enjoy the time because you're on a strict schedule. You need to be there, first to get there, last to leave. So you know, it's unfortunate. Any city that's a coastal city, if I can see the water, I'm happy. Or if I can see the mountains, and even coming into here, you know, we saw like, you know, the modern civilization, the buildings with the mountains in the background. We're like, awesome. But you know, to walk around, I wouldn't put Vancouver as my top pick.
No.
But it is interesting. It is interesting, and as long as you know you strengthen numbers, if you have a couple people with you, let's go fucking check this weird shit out. You know, it's pretty interesting. But you know, any of the coastal cities are great, and I mean, you know, any place that's like hospitable. You know, when the people are kind. You know, when you open a door for someone, if they just walk in and they don't say anything, you know, when I open a door for someone and they say thank you, it's like my pleasure. But you know, so many parts of the world you go there and the people are like, they don't give a fuck about you. You're in their way. And so, you know, you're like, but, you know, if I had to pick, I would, you know, go with any of the Australian cities or coastal cities and stuff like that. Just my favorite.
Yeah, most of Australians are the coast.
Yeah. The market, the major market is the coast.
Coastal.
I have to say, for me, I think Montreal is one of my favorite places.
Oh, it's a cool place.
I mean, we played there so many times, and the people are so cool, and I just love Montreal. I don't know, every time I'm there, I have the greatest time.
It's a fun city.
Yeah, so.
I hear it's quite the big metal.
It is.
Like we just
have you not been?
I haven't been, no.
Did you were about to say Necronomical?
Yeah, we saw them at the beginning of September, and he was saying that.
Wow. That's great. I haven't heard of them in a while. 98 is the last time I heard of Necronomicon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They did a unique leader or something.
The last time they were here was when Behemoth last came through the whole Canada tour. But no, they were saying that Montreal's got
it's a great
huge
city.
scene
Insane.
there.
It's
Huge.
insane.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of a metalhead somehow.
Yeah.
Even if
Yeah.
they're not into it, they're into it.
Yeah, and the way it's just their lifestyle there. They, you know, after the shows,
Very
it's like
free.
go out and party, you know,
Yeah.
drink and till all night for all night. You know, it's like that's so cool. You know, I'm not used to that where I'm from in California. You know, it's like it cuts off at 2 o'clock. Everybody's
Yep.
done.
Same here. It's
So-
2 o'clock. It's done.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm really into Montreal. I mean, there's a lot of places in Europe too that I've only been on one European tour with this band. So, I mean, but I really like I like Germany a lot. A lot of places in Germany. I like Berlin was fun. I like we were just talking about
Amsterdam's a fun
Oh,
spot.
Amsterdam.
Well, Czech, any old world.
That's what I was
any
gonna say,
old world.
Prague,
Prague is
or
really
Czech
cool.
Republic.
You know, you play the festivals and you're in some old military base.
Yeah.
You're like in the
Yeah.
barracks and it's interesting. You know, you
Yeah.
get to see the culture. And we were talking about this earlier. It's like taking your experiences home with you, you respect what you have so much more. You
Yeah.
know, when you walk around here and you're like, oh my God, this is the way people live. And then you go back
Yeah.
to your sanctuary and you're like, oh, it's not so bad. It's actually
nice
pretty
here.
nice. Yeah. So you ultimately really respect, or, you know, I guess the word is respect. When you come home, you
Yeah.
realize that we have it made, you know, and even if our lifestyles are shit compared to the world, seeing parts of the world allows you to respect what you have more.
Cool. Now, after this tour is finished, what's next for Decrepit Birth?
Well, I mean, okay, obviously we're working on new music, and I would really like to have an album out soon. I'm not really
Maybe
gonna
by
say,
summer?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say for sure, but I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, we've been talking about it, kind of a summertime thing.
Cool.
We'll see what happens, and then, you know, there's some tour offers on the table. I'd rather not say exactly yet, just because it's close. You guys, it'll come out soon.
It'll be cool.
So yeah.
We would like to put out an album, and so to not rush it, you know, they sign you to an agreement that you're like, okay, get in the studio, and you're like, we're not ready, you know, and
Yeah.
so to take our time and to really write some quality music, you know, like Matt was using words like epic, and, you know, like stuff that just really touches people.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to just go, okay, let's go bang out some stuff, blah blah blah. Okay, crank another one out. That's
That's
not
really
the
important
point.
to me. Like,
Yeah.
otherwise, I'm just, what's the point?
Hang
you
it
know,
up,
like
yeah.
I want it to be something that's gonna, like,
You're
epic.
proud of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like well, something that's really gonna be important. And you know, I think our record company is really cool. They understand that. Nuclear Blast is
Yeah.
very
great.
understanding.
They're very
Great.
You know, at first I wasn't sure when we first signed with them, but now that, you know, we're, you know,
They
3 or 4
believe
years
in the
in,
band.
they
believe in the
definitely believe in us, and I'm
and that's
really
the same
happy.
It's the same thing with the Vacuum and the fans. If you know, if the fans are into it, we start by giving it to them, and then they give it back, and then we're able to, you know, steamroll them. Same thing with the label. If the label's like, just hurry up, get in the studio, crank out another record, we need the fucking money.
Yeah.
You're like, it's not fun anymore. But if
Yeah.
they believe in you, and then all of a sudden you have this newfound love
Like
to
love.
do it even more.
Desire to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for doing this interview with Metal Titans. Before we finish, is there anything you'd like to send out to the fans?
I love my mom.
Aw, what a good guy.
love you too, Mom.
Please just you know, keep an eye out for future news, tours. Check our Facebook pages and all that whatnot. And new merch and new album maybe next year. So
Yeah,
that's it.
I would say definitely next
Next year, yeah.
Yeah. And again, you know, come out to the shows. Again, we're doing our job. Do your job.
Yeah.
And
We need
come
the
to the
support.
show. Yeah, and
We
it's
need the
great
support.
though, because then it grows.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if you don't water it and love it, it won't grow. So, you know,
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.